Hello everyone, my name is Tyler Lloyd, and if you're new here, I am an avid gardener. And today, I'm going to be going through my new seeds for the 2026 growing season. These are things that I purchased, my new seed packets, not all the things I'm going to be growing for the upcoming year. If you want a video on that, please let me know. Still trying to find space for everything. You'll soon see that sometimes I think my garden and my time are much more plentiful than they are. But I'm going to go through, I'm going to talk about the different seed brands that I purchased from, some of the things that I'm excited for, and then give you some suggestions on where to find seeds for, cheap or free if maybe, you don't have the money to spend on as many seeds as I do. So let me get into my seeds. Where do I want to start? I'm going to go brand by brand, or seed company by seed company, rather than by kind of type of seed. But starting off here, I have Seed Savers Exchange. So from Seed Savers Exchange, I have this Ping Tong Long eggplant. This is an Asian style eggplant. There's a Thai dish from my favorite restaurant that uses eggplant. A little bit different than these, but I'm excited for these ones because I've been growing the small ones and I want a slightly bigger one. Marconi Red. This is a sweet, thin-walled Italian style pepper. So the Marconi Red, going to be growing several different peppers. You'll see I have like variations on this exact same pepper that I got from a few different companies. Then this mixture sunflower. Gotta have some flowers in the mix, especially for my wife. She likes those. Then the Hungarian Heart tomato. This is kind of a dual purpose, a slicer tomato, but also would be a good paste tomato as well. So the Hungarian Heart tomato. And then this is the zucchetta or zucchino. It's usually what I see are the rapicante. So this squash right here, this is one of my favorite squashes to grow because when it is smaller and green, you can eat it like a zucchini, a summer squash, but then as it matures, it turns into a great long-storing winter squash, very much like a butternut squash. I like to say it's if Dr. Seuss made a butternut squash. So one of my favorites. So those are my seeds from Seed Savers Exchange. Cool company because they're saving seeds from growing all over the United States, things that have been brought over, sort of heritage seeds, open, pollinated, heirloom, true type varieties. It's really cool, especially just to read the descriptions of where they found these seeds from different parts of the United States, who the original grower was, and the history around them. So my next thing, sticking with the open pollinated, would be from Sow True Seeds. So Sow True Seeds, they redid a lot of their branding. So this is a cherry tomato nightcap. This one doesn't have any cool art on it, but it's a sort of a black cherry tomato. That was kind of one of those additions where you're shopping, you're like, oh yeah, sure, I'll add that, I'll add that. I did that quite a lot because I made a list of all the stuff that I needed, that I wanted to grow for next year, and it was only about 12 things long, and I clearly deviated from that. The slicing tomato, this is the mortgage lifter, but it's a subtype. It's the Halliday's mortgage lifter. So a type that I'm going to be growing. I've done the traditional mortgage lifter in the past with mixed results, so I'm going to try this one out. The summer spinach, this is a New Zealand summer spinach, so not the same, but what you would know as a spinach, but this is a heat and humidity loving green. So I'm going to be trying that out. Oh, this parsley. So this is a Hamburg rooted parsley. So this is a parsley that forms a big, thick root. In the pictures, it looked almost like a parsnip. So excited to try this one out. I'm going to be saying that a lot. I'm excited to try all these out. That's why I bought them. So I'm going to try to maybe refrain from saying that every single time. The cardoon. So cardoon related to the artichoke, but you eat the leaves rather than the immature flower head that you'd be eating with the artichoke. I grew artichokes this year, this past growing year, and then I'm going to be growing these this next year. The beet, the Chioggia, I think that's how you pronounce that. It's the beet with the white and sort of red pinkish circles in the inside. So this is a pretty one to have on the plate. Pole bean, Birdie Best Greasy Bean, Wild Arugula, and then the Six Nation Iroquois Drying Bean. So these are from Sow True Seeds. This company is in Asheville, North Carolina. So I'm in Kentucky. So if you're looking for seeds, look for seed companies that are based around you, close to your region, that may have varieties that are going to do better for you. So I've got some things from Johnny's Seeds, which I'll do next. You know, they're up in Maine. They have trial farms in Maine and Canada. I think they probably have some elsewhere, but you know, I go with them for some of the hybrid varieties. But places like Sow True Seeds, because they're more in my climate region, I can do things that might be a little bit more adapted that may struggle in other places. So look to see who are your like seed companies that are close by you. Johnny's Seed. Johnny's Seed is, you know, they sell seeds in the seed packets like this, but they're really geared towards market farmers, people who are selling for farmers markets. But I like them because they have really good tried and true varieties, usually hybrid. So the other two companies that I already did were all open pollinated true type varieties, so you can save the seed. These ones are hybridized, so two different parents hybridized together to make this. And if you save the seeds, you wouldn't get the exact same fruit that you got from the parent plant because the genetics haven't been stabilized to be all wild and wonky. So the hybrid yellow onions, the Murogi, so the Murogi onions, I'm going to be growing these in addition to the Australian brown and Texas grano that I've grown in the past, but I'm going to try these ones out, these hybrid ones. Then a purple bumblebee tomato, very similar to the other tomato I got. I guess I forgot that I purchased these when I was buying these seeds. Then I've got a lavender. So I've grown lavender in the past, but I was looking for one that would actually hold up to our humidity and wet summers, because sometimes have like a fungal issue, mildew on it. So I'm going to be trying out this type. The Boldor, it's a specialty beet. I've grown them before. They produce really well for me. So I'm going to be growing these again. I just ran out of seeds. Block Party, it's a winter squash, like a butternut squash. Love butternut squash. So in addition to the zucchino, I'm going to be growing these as well. A hybrid cherry tomato, the citrine. So this is a yellowish orange cherry tomato, similar to the Sun Gold, which I'm going to be growing again this year because it's my wife's favorite tomato. But the Sun Gold, the problem with it is it has a very thin skin. So they can crack very easily, especially after any rain. So you got to stay on top of them. They don't sort of store well for a long time, you know, like just even like a few days, they start to go real soft and mushy. So I'm gonna try these out. They're supposed to be just a slightly more robust and just as delicious tomato. The Monica, so this is a hybrid paste tomato. Always on the search for the best performing paste tomato because I make a lot of salsas and can a whole lot of tomato sauces. ProCut, this is a hybrid single stem sunflower. This is a orange sunflower, and these ProCut ones, they don't have pollen. So if you've ever cut a bouquet of sunflowers and they cast all that pollen on your table, these won't do that. So that's why I picked those out. And then I got a bicolor corn. I don't know why I got corn, but need a better fence system to keep out raccoons. Or my corn is just going to continue to be a failure. But apparently I thought it was a good idea. So purchased more corn from Johnny's Select Seeds. And my gardener. This company, great if you're looking for seeds on a budget. $2 a pack on all their stuff. They've got everything that you could want. But it's nice that, you know, they're able to have maybe pack fewer seeds in a package, but still plenty of seeds. Because if you're getting a packet of seeds, it's maybe $4 or $5 of maybe tomatoes, but then it's got 30 seeds. That's a lot of seeds for most backyard gardeners and growers. So they'll have maybe fewer seeds, but at a really good price point, and I have always had great success with their stuff. But this first one, sugar beets. So I guess I'm gonna maybe try my hand at growing sugar beets and producing sugar from them. I guess that's what I was thinking when I purchased these seeds. Then a purple carrot. Got a nice little purple carrot. Rosemary. Always love rosemary. This is also a fun one for me to grow and just give away to people, the plants. I grow a lot more plants than I end up planting, and actually just give them away to people in my community because I love growing stuff, both the plants and the food. So those are a good one to give away because people always like, you know, the herbs. Kale, a curly kale. This is the blue curled Scotch kale, my wife's favorite kale to eat and roast. Butter crunch head lettuce. Sugar snap peas, always a favorite. Shishitos, probably my favorite snacking pepper, Japanese pepper. Very mild. They say 1 in 10, which is about true, of them have some heat and a little bit of spicy. But I like to take these, throw them in the oven on like a broil or air fry setting with a little bit of olive oil, roast them up, and maybe just put salt on them or make a nice dipping sauce out of a Japanese Kewpie mayo and a little bit of lime or lemon and some other herbs. Pretty delicious. The red Corno de Toro pepper. So this is another one of those Italian sweet peppers, and then a yellow variety. So this is the yellow variety of the same one. Oh, these black Spanish radish. I keep seeing these black radish every single year. So finally got some to try these out to see how those taste. White egg turnip. I like turnips well enough. They're not my favorite, but these looked really cool because they look like little eggs. So gonna be trying those out. And then a matcha corn salad. A green that should heavily reseed, I think, and make a nice perennial patch of greens in my garden. So these seeds right here, so these are the ones that I purchased. I actually got some seeds from free, because they were part of my seeds for next year. I'm gonna show them off. But Vego Garden, which I have made videos about their raised beds, their hose reel. I'm working on a video right now for them. Because I make videos with this company, they sent me a nice little Christmas gift, and these seeds were included. And they're all things that I will use, so that was nice. So we've got a tatsoi, another butter crunch lettuce, then a standard arugula, then the Bloomsdale spinach. Yeah, I was just holding this and thinking, there are a lot of seeds in this packet, and then it just said on the back, 33% more seeds compared to industry average. So as I was holding this, I was thinking, this is a very well-filled seed packet, and then apparently that's a claim that they make. Salad bowl, lettuce mix, little gem lettuce, little Shanghai bok choy, and then Mizuna mustard seeds. This is something I grew this year, had a little bit of it, and then I thought that this was supposed to be like super frost hardy, so I didn't cover it. I covered lots of other things in my garden, and then we got down to 9 degrees, and from what I thought that was supposed to be like bulletproof, no, 9 degrees fried this Mizuna mustard. So those were toast. So a lot of seeds, not the end of my seeds. So when I was on vacation in Arizona this summer, going to the Grand Canyon, we stopped in a thrift shop, and then they had a big giant tote of seeds that were $1 each. So one recommendation, like find places in your area that maybe have sell seeds super cheap at the end of the season, because all these seeds that I have are still viable. Maybe the germination rate is going to go down a little bit, and it's going to be dependent on species. Like some things like tomatoes and peppers stay viable for much, much longer. Your things that tend to be like your cold crops, like cabbages, so anything in the Nebraska family, their germination rate goes down pretty quickly. Carrots as well, even though I haven't had too much issue with them. But you can get seeds from the previous year for the next year really, really cheap. So if you're looking for cheap seeds, maybe try to find where are those places, maybe the local hardware stores that would do it. They don't do too much at the big box stores, like the Home Depot, your Lowe's, your Menards, but maybe your smaller town places will have those, your garden centers, end of year. So be on the lookout for those, and they may still have them. So what did I pick up when I was on vacation? I got a Sugar Baby Watermelon Baby Bubba Hybrid. It's a small little okra. It says it's a container variety. Waltham Butternut Squash. I may end up giving these away to someone in my area, which brings me to another idea. Go to seed swaps. Find people in your area that are interested in gardening and seek out seed swaps, because maybe you buy, so like this Zucchino Rabicante. How many seeds does it have in here? Does it tell me? 20 seeds. There are 20 seeds in here. If you grew all 20 of these, you would have squash coming out your ears. You'd have a ton of squash. So you could only sow 5 of them, have 15 more, maybe hold 10 of them back. So you got 10 to trade, and then find someone else. Find someone else that maybe, they bought the Hungarian heart tomato that's got 35 seeds. They're probably not growing 35 of these. So you can, each buy a packet of seeds and swap with one another. So find some seed swaps in your area to make the most of your seed purchases go a little bit farther. So don't think that you have to buy everything. Lean on your community, which what I will end up doing. I have a bit of a problem. I love purchasing seeds. I tell my wife, hey, it could be something else. At least I'm addicted to gardening. That is my addiction and my hobby, because I love growing plants and I love feeding people. But find others who do the same and swap seeds with them. So might be swapping these seeds. Early Acorn Hybrid Winter Squash, Super Sweet 100. I've already got some seeds of these as well, but this is a good one to grow and give out. Gave some of these out to one of my friends, and he just messaged me throughout the growing season that he's never had a cherry tomato be so productive, that he was just blown away. He's like, please make sure, remember me for next year, that I want some more tomatoes. So I was like, got you. San Marzano, another paste tomato. I got 2 packets of those. And then Roma VF, another paste tomato. So I got a lot of tomatoes that I'll be trialing, I guess, this next year. Good thing that I expanded my garden at the end of last growing season. A Brandywine pink fruited tomato, Burpee's Super Steak Hybrid, and then mint, and then an onion, an ever bunching onion. Good classic. There are all my seeds. These are my new seed packets. This is not including all the seeds that I have left over from previous years, the seeds that I have saved, which is probably 2 to 3 times the amount of these seeds. Where am I going to fit all this stuff in my garden? That's a problem for future me. I will figure it out, and I will make videos about it along the way. What are you growing this year? What are some of your favorite seed brands, seed companies? I got from M.I. Gardener, Johnny's, Seed Savers Exchange, Sow True Seeds. I got these seed packets from Vego Garden company that I have enjoyed working with, and then all these super cheap seed packets. These were $1 each. The Back to Roots, those are organic seeds, Burpee, Fairy Moss, all the stuff that you'd see in the big box stores, but rather than paying $4 or something a seed packet, got them for $1. So yes, what are you growing? What are you excited for in the upcoming gardening year? Let me know. Again, my name is Tyler Lloyd. I appreciate you watching this video. I try to make it quick as possible, but a lot of seeds to go through, and I can't stay on topic. I gotta share other thoughts, other ideas as I go along, but hopefully you found it informative, entertaining, and until next time, I wish you the very best. See you later. Bye.